Hello, welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley, and today we will be learning some basic vocabulary, but abstract vocabulary related to discussing quantity, how much quantity of different things. We're going to look at some terminology to discuss amounts of things, as well as some more vocabulary that talks about how we use word box, a carton, a tin, a can, and how we buy things, by the kilo, by the pound, by the bushel, what have you. Anyway, lots of useful vocabulary. We'll do a little discussion. We'll do some exercises together to try to learn these words. Hello, Oksana?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Well, nice to have you aboard. Glad to have you here. Lots of good vocabulary to learn today, actually. That's a good plethora. Ooh, a plethora, there's a word for you. A plethora of good vocabulary today. And interesting as well. So I'm going to just jump right in and get started by doing a screen share. And hopefully others can join us. Come on in to the class anytime. You can join the class anytime, really doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to start out by talking about very small quantities and some words that we use to talk about them. Okay, we're going to learn these by filling in the blank with some sentences here with these words that you see here. Amount, stitch, trace, penny, ounce, drop. Okay, let's go ahead and try it out. What I would like you to do is read the sentence and attempt to fill in the blank with what you might consider to be the most logical answer. All right, Oksana, go ahead. Try number one.
We've just come back from Greece. We didn't have I think, drop.
I think you're right.
A drop of rain all the time we were there.
Okay, yes. Very good. A drop, okay, literally is, like, one drop falls out of your sink, out of your tap, whatever. But this is a common expression. A drop, we didn't have a drop of rain, okay? Not any. A drop is obviously very small. Okay. That a drop as a noun, obviously. To drop as a verb means to let go of something on purpose or accidentally and let it fall. Okay, number two, go ahead.
I was dropped in the center of town. The guy grabbed my bag with all my money. I wasn't left with a penny.
A penny, very good. A penny is a 1 cent coin. Of course, 100 cents equals $1. So we can call it a penny or a cent. That's C-E-N-T. So yeah, we have a lot of expressions with a penny in English. I don't have a penny to my name is another common expression. It means I have no money, of course, exaggeratedly, but
we can't just say we don't have drop of money.
Well, okay, that's a good question. That would sound a little strange, to tell you the truth. Yeah. I mean, it could be understandable, but it would be a little unusual. Okay,
Mhm.
let's continue. Try number 3.
It's my turn.
Well, okay, if you want to let Alimabek take it. Hello, Abimelech. Sorry, I just
Hello,
reversed your name.
teacher. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. Nice to have you in the class.
Thank you.
Abimelech, we're looking at these words that describe small, very small quantities of things. Okay, a drop of rain. I don't have a penny, 1 coin, 1 cent coin. Okay, I guess you can jump right in and try number 3.
Okay. You won't believe what happened when the Prime Minister was in the middle of his speech. A guy ran onto the platform. He was stark naked. He wasn't wearing a cloth.
Well, okay. Uh,
Teach maybe.
yeah, that is the idea is he wasn't wearing clothes because he was naked. But yes, you're correct. He wasn't wearing a stitch, or someone doesn't have a stitch on. Um, the literal meaning of stitch is like one when you sew one pass through the clothing that ties the clothing together is one stitch. So extremely small, obviously. So if we say someone doesn't have a stitch of clothes, it's just an exaggerated way of saying a very small amount of clothing or even part of clothing. He didn't have a stitch on would be very common. Okay, let me welcome David. Hello, David. Welcome to the class. Hi, David. David, I'm not sure if you're having problems speaking, but you're muted. If you scroll to the top of the screen, you're going to see an icon with a microphone and a bar through it. If you can click on that, you can unmute yourself, and that will allow you to talk. I'm not sure if that's the problem, but when you get it figured out, just give me a shout out, say hello, so I know that I can talk to you. And also, hello, Agor. How are you?
Hello, teacher. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. Long time no see.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Good
Okay.
to see you.
Thank you. All right, we're doing some fill in the blank exercises, and we're trying to fill in the blank with these words that talk about a very small amount, but these are a little odd because they're not normal. They're not really interchangeable. We talk about a drop to talk about liquid. He hasn't touched a drop of alcohol in 40 years. Okay, a very small amount of liquid, or I don't have a penny, a very small amount of money, or he wasn't wearing a stitch, very tiny, or we usually use it to talk about having no clothing. Hello, Max. Did you make it in? Are you really here?
Yeah,
Okay, you
I'm
made
here.
it. Very good.
I made it. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. How's it going?
Great. Nice to have you aboard. Okay, and also we've had Diego join us.
Okay, hi Oakley.
Hi, Diego. Nice to see you again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're going to continue. Again, David, if you have a chance, unmute yourself and say hello so I know that you can participate. Igor, I'll let you take over from number 4. Just read the sentence and I'll show you the words again.
When the police arrived at the flat, they couldn't find even the slightest amount of drugs.
Okay, well,
I think it's straight.
I think you're right. Yeah, okay. It could, okay, amount actually works as well.
I didn't see the the examples when I just joined, so
Right, right,
amount
right.
was my first, my first,
Well,
my first hunch. That's what I said.
hmm either way, the slightest trace of drugs or the slightest amount of drugs could be actually correct here. Um, so either answer would be perfectly okay here. Uh, amount we generally are going to use for something that's physically, you can pick it up. It's a physical thing, which drugs are, so it works here. And trace we can use for either a physical thing or possibly something more abstract. He doesn't have a trace of humor. He doesn't even have a trace of a sense of humor. Or so we could talk about kind of abstract things. Okay, Max is gone again. All right, Diego, can you try number 5?
Okay. Jill is very fit. There's not an of a spare phrase of her. Um, there's not a trace.
Yeah. Okay, there's not a trace of spare flesh on her. Again, it's possible. Okay, but
Maybe.
since we're talking about her body, her weight, her really,
Yeah.
her her physical. She's very fit, so she's not fat. So the speaker's saying there's not a spare. Probably we would use ounce. Okay, which
What's the meaning of ounce?
okay, I knew you would ask. I hoped
Yeah.
you would ask. Okay, this goes back to the old system of measurement used in America and England, not the metric system. Okay, so an ounce is 16 ounces make a 1 pound in in the old system of measurement. An ounce approximately is about 7 grams. Or no. I think an ounce is 28 grams. Yeah, an
Okay, I
ounce
got the point.
is about approximately 28 grams. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's right. Anyway, so it's a pretty small amount. Okay, so we might say there's not an ounce of spare flesh on her. This is kind of a standard sort of an expression in English.
Okay, so when I say trace, that possibly not
well,
the
it actually
exact word to explain it.
no, but it works. But it actually makes sense, and you would be understood, and it's grammatically correct. So it's trace is. I'm not going to say that's a wrong answer. Trace can be used a lot. Okay, trace is
Okay,
very
it will be possible to
multi-purpose.
say it.
Yeah, trace is very multi-purpose actually.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I'd like to welcome Alejandro. Hello, Alejandro.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. Uh, uh, how are you today?
I'm fine.
Great. Why don't you jump right in and try number 6, and I'll show you the words that you can pick from in just a second. Alejandro?
Yes, okay.
Okay.
If you're going to use curry powder in
Very
this
good.
recipe, just use a tiny
Something. Just use it.
A tiny amount.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Very good. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, it'll ruin the taste. All right. Use just a tiny amount. Very common to collocate tiny with amount. Again, it would be possible here to say just use a tiny trace. Trace is, okay, I think it's become obvious. It can be used in many, many situations.
Yeah.
Trace meaning
Mm.
even actually the word, the collocation a trace amount, all right, trace can be used as a noun, all right, or it can be used as an adjective. The collocation a trace amount is actually quite common. There was a trace amount of gunpowder on the suspect's fingers, so we knew that he had used the weapon, for example.
Sorry, what about a tiny bit?
A tiny bit. Use just a tiny bit. Yep, nothing wrong with that. Use just a tiny amount. Here's another one for you. Use just a tiny pinch. Okay. Okay, this is actually very normal.
Excuse me, teacher. You could say just use a tiny once.
No, that would not work. Nope. You definitely need an amount word here. A tiny pinch is actually very common, and if you guys are ever looking at recipes, by the way, this word is often mispronounced because it definitely follows the spelling rules of looking like recipe. That's definitely what it looks like, I'll give you that, but it's an exception to the normal spelling rules, and it's pronounced recipe. In any case, if you guys are cooking and using an English language recipe, you would definitely likely see a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, a pinch of curry powder. It is simply what you can pick up with your thumb and your pointer finger of some kind of powder. Or
so it's like you're pinching the powder.
That's exactly correct. Yeah, you're physically pinching the powder. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And then another small amount you may see, especially when cooking, is a dash, and that is liquid. That means like 2 or 3 tiny drops of something. So like hot sauce, or maybe vanilla extract, things like that, soy sauce, liquids that you use to cook with. You may add a dash of this liquid. Okay. Yep, as it says here. The older system, an ounce, a pound, a pint, a gallon. Okay. They still sell gasoline in America by the gallon, not by the liter. For example. Why? I don't know. You know, it's not that hard to figure out. Now, okay, here's a challenge for you. Let's look at some collocations. I think this is quite useful. What groups of things, categories of things, all right? What do we call a group of these things? A set, a sheet, a crowd, a bunch, a group, perhaps a pair, a slice, a game. All right. What do we call these things as in a group? Okay, these are called collective nouns. They're collective nouns because they talk about a collection of things. Abimelech asks, what is a collocation? All right, I should describe that. Collocations are words that go together. For example, earlier I talked about a trace amount. A trace, one word, and amount are 2 words that often go together and are very commonly used together. And sometimes these are adjectives and nouns. He's a heavy smoker. Okay, we don't say he's a frequent smoker, he's a constant smoker, he's a heavy smoker, or maybe chain smoker. That's a common collocation. So collocations can be adjectives and nouns. It can be a collective noun and of whatever you're making a group of, which is what we're looking at now. Verbs are co-located with prepositions very commonly, normally. You recommend to someone, okay? You talk to someone. You don't talk at someone, or okay, you can, but all right. So there's different kinds of collocations with different word types. All right, well, let's take a look at this. Let's try this out. Oksana, I've eventually made it all the way back to you. Again, David, you're here, but you're not here. If you want to give a shout out at any time, I would love to include you in the festivities. Oksana, okay. Number one, a what of flowers?
The, we have only 6 words, yeah?
Yeah, well, no. Hang on.
Maybe
Here.
slice and game. I think maybe bunch, not bunch of flowers.
Well, think of the other words. Bunch of grapes, bunch of bananas. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think yes.
Yes, I definitely would not say, hey, Oksana, let's play a game of bananas. Oh, no, that sounds wrong. Just sounds very, very wrong.
Maybe pear bananas.
Pear, well, yeah. It's possible a pair of roses or a pair of bananas, but it would be very strange. I ate a pair of grapes for lunch. That would be weird. Right. Most commonly, a bunch, of course. Yes. Okay. Abimelech, number 2.
Okay. A sheet of paper, cardboard, metal.
Okay, this isn't actually, all right, some of these are collective nouns, a bunch. A sheet is not actually a collective noun. It's a way of describing, because that's how paper and cardboard and metal comes, in big sheets. All right. What would, Abimelech, for bonus points and a gold star, what would a lot of paper, like 500 sheets of paper, what would that be called?
Maybe a ream of paper.
Oh, very good. Gold star for you. Very nice. You're absolutely correct. A ream of paper. Didn't think you'd know that. I'm impressed. Excellent.
What about a pile of paper?
Well, okay. A pile of paper, a ream of paper sort of gives you the impression that it's all organized and tightly rectangular and perfect. A pile of paper sort of has it's perfectly correct and a nice collocation, but it sort of has the inference that it's a little bit disorganized, or, you know, chaotic, yeah, possibly. But yes, it can be used, for sure.
Well, somehow when I think about a lot of paper put together, I think about a pile of paper, not a ream of paper. I don't know.
Well, when I think of a ream of paper, I think that it's still wrapped in plastic or wrapped in, paper, nice, not even opened yet. That's what I think of when I think of a ream of paper. Okay, Igor, while I got you, why don't you try number 3 here?
Well, a game of tennis, cards, chess, golf.
Well, of course. Okay. Some of these words, okay, actually, all of these words, except cards. Cards is countable. I have 3 cards. You need to deal 7 cards. But chess, for example, is uncountable. Okay, so we use this quantifier to make it countable. Same with sheet up here with cardboard, metal, paper. These are all materials. They're all uncountable nouns. So we use a quantifier so that we can use an article, a sheet of paper. Same thing here, a game of chess. You can't say I played 3 chesses today. That makes no sense. Okay. Let's see, Diego.
Okay.
try number 4 here.
Number 4, it will be maybe crowd.
Yes.
Crowd of people, demonstrators, football fans.
I think that is the most logical answer for these 3. Now, of course, it's possible to use a group when you're talking about people, or a bunch. We have a lot of words that we can use for people. Can we say, this is an interesting question. Diego, can we say a pair of people?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But if you say of the football fans, maybe it will be a group or a crowd.
Usually.
But people, it will be a pair, maybe. 2.
Well, I think it would, okay, a pair of football fans walked into the bar. All right. A pair of demonstrators fell off the bridge. Okay.
Maybe it will be a pair of football fans to go to take some beers.
I think that's okay. A pair of people actually sounds a little odd. We normally would say a pair of guys, or a pair, well.
I think that's because people already represent plural form of people.
Right, that's
so
right.
You just, if you need to say if it was a pair of people, you say a pair of guys or just 2 people.
Or actually,
or
in reality,
a couple of people.
A couple, exactly. A couple of people, a couple of guys.
A couple of guys, or of some guys.
Yeah. It's more common to say a couple than a pair is really.
Couple.
Yeah. Or you can just say a couple, meaning they're together.
That's right. If you don't designate them with of people, of guys, if you don't define them, a couple by itself means romantically linked pair of people. Okay. All right.
Like
very
a date.
good. Well, yeah, possibly. Well, if they're a couple, it means that they are, yeah, romantically linked. They're boyfriend and girlfriend, probably. We don't normally use it for husband and wife, but yeah. Okay. Alejandro, can you try number 5?
Number 5. A group of friends, scientists, boys, school children.
Okay. And again, we run into the same thing with a pair. Possibly, but again, we would probably use a couple of friends. So group, yeah, works well here. I agree with you. A group of school children. Now, in more informal conversation, you might say a bunch of scientists are staying at the hotel. A bunch of school children crowded onto the bus. Okay, slightly more informal, but also you can use it to talk about, again, groups of people. Definitely. David, are you there? Okay. I don't know. Back to Oksana. Okay.
Okay. Slice. A slice of bacon, bread, ham, cold meat, cake.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. Absolutely right. I'm laughing about Igor's comment. Yeah, no, you're right. It's mixing a bunch of scientists sounds weird because scientists you think formal and a bunch is extremely informal, so it does sound kind of funny. Okay, yes, you're absolutely right. A slice of bacon, a slice of cake. Indeed. Again, we're using this quantifier to talk about all of these, actually, are uncountable nouns. Every single one of them. It's interesting. A bacon, okay, you see bacon, but you have to say a package of bacon, a half a kilo of bacon, a slice of bacon, 4 slices of bacon. You can't say 3 bacons. It doesn't make sense. On the other hand, ham and cake, you could possibly say he baked 2 cakes. All right. The family had 2 hams for Christmas. All right, that is possible. But once you cut them up, they become uncountable. All right, when they're whole, they're countable. Ken, welcome to the class. Hello, hello.
Yes, hello. How are you?
I'm swell. Thank you. Nice to have you aboard.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll get back to you, Ken, in a little bit. There's plenty of these to go around. Abimelech, how about number 7?
Number 7, a pair of shoes, glasses, socks, gloves, and slippers.
Indeed, very good. Yes, here's where we see a pair used as a obvious and constant collocation. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Now, the next one. We got all kinds of different words here, all over the place. Igor, I'm going to hand this one off to you. How about number 8?
I don't know. Can we scroll up?
No. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Of course I can.
Well, a set of wood. A set of wood.
A set of wood. A set of advice. That sounds weird.
Well, a piece of wood would sound great.
Yeah, wouldn't it though? That's because I didn't show you these over here.
Gotcha.
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 But he got me. He said the best answer would be a piece, and he's absolutely correct. Very good. Yes, I was trying to trick you there, but actually he got me because he's absolutely correct. A piece is a very general quantifier which we use for many, many things in all kinds of categories: material, food, abstracts like advice, a piece of information, for example. All kinds of things we can use a piece for. Very good. So remember, way over here we have a piece and a lump. A lump. A lump of chicken. That sounds disgusting. Okay, you're absolutely right. Good one. Again, piece, a quantifier we use with many, many, many things. Diego, how about number 9?
Okay. Maybe could be a group of golf clubs, conditions, breaks,
Actually,
or
no.
no.
Think about conditions. All right, we can make a deal, but I have a blank of conditions.
I don't know. This is.
I don't know what other. Well, golf clubs is a good example. False teeth.
Golf clubs. It will be sorry.
It's okay. All right, you have your golf clubs. You put them all in your bag. Now you have a complete what? You've got all your irons.
A bunch.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Clubs.
If you got them all, you can have, for example, we talk about a complete set of golf clubs. You have all your irons, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, pitching wedge, sand wedge. You have your wood.
Will be. But I could say a bunch of golf clubs.
Well, you could, but that could you definitely could, but
so better to say set.
Again, informal. It's similar to when we talked about paper. A set of golf clubs means organized, okay? But if I said a bunch of golf clubs, then I kind of picture 8 or 10 mismatched golf clubs that somebody threw in their garage 5 years ago, a little bit rusty. All right,
okay,
there's a bunch of golf clubs. Yeah.
I have a question. When I say a set of conditions,
yes,
is usually to say that.
It is very normal to say that. Yes. There's a set of conditions we have to meet before the contract goes into effect. Organized, documented conditions is, again, a set.
But it will be a formal way to say it.
Yeah, and it has the inference that they're very organized. Okay.
Okay.
Definitely. A set is a very organized thing. You know, a set of numbers, very organized. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, even numbers. A set of even numbers. It's organized. A bunch of numbers. 2, 7, 149, 1,000,003. That's a bunch of numbers. All right? You see the difference? Right.
Yeah.
I can say that. That's true, but it definitely has a different inference. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, Nader. Welcome to the class. I am doing well. Thank you very much. Okay. Finally, we get to this one. Alejandro, number 10. Cheese.
Number 10. Lump.
Yay! Finally, we got lump. Lump. That's right. I like that word. It's just fun to say. A lump. By the way, Alejandro, if I say, oh, my cousin is useless. He's such a lump. What do I mean, Alejandro? If I call someone a lump?
Lump.
If I call a person a lump?
It's an idiom.
Kind of. It's kind of idiomatic. Well, slang, idiomatic, yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
All right. If I call a person a lump, it means like they're a couch potato. They sit on the couch. They don't do anything useful. He doesn't have a job. He's a total lump. Okay.
But I think it's not normal to say a lump of cheese.
A lump of cheese. Well, yeah, well, you're right. It's not that strong a collocation, and we have others with cheese. A slice of cheese, a piece of cheese, a wheel of cheese. When you have that round, big circle of cheese, that's called a wheel of cheese.
Wheel.
A block of cheese. Sometimes cheese comes in a square or rectangle, and then it's called a block.
Okay, I just going to say that it will be a block of cheese.
Yeah. Well, you're right. Well, ice, same thing. You can have a block of ice, or a cube of ice, or a lump. A lump is a disorganized, not a traditional geometric shape, just a amorphous blob of substance. So yeah, closer to what it looks like, coal. You know, coal isn't all pretty nice, perfect shapes. So yeah, you're right. Coal or rock. Okay, Igor uses points out that to lump can be a verb as well. That's important. If you're lumped in, particularly a phrasal verb, actually, lumped in with other people, you're put into a group. It's slightly negative. You're put into a group and generalized in a certain way to stereotype someone or generalize someone. So yeah, it's kind of it's a little bit kind of derogatory, actually. Okay. All right. Now we're going to look at it with another exercise in kind of the other way around, looking at very large quantities and numbers, but we're going to choose words. All right. We'll use the quantifiers are already in the sentence, and we'll choose the words that go with them, sort of a little backwards, what we have done. Ken, I'm going to start with you.
Yes.
Number 1.
Okay. That car must have cost Mel at least 50,000 pounds. He must have loads of long be able to afford it? Have much loads of money?
Money. Loads of dough. Yeah. He must have loads of money. Okay, common, again, money. Here again, we're looking at how we often use quantifiers in conjunction with uncountable nouns. So you can have loads of money. You can have wads of money. Yeah. Absolutely. Funny loads, okay? Look, to talk about lots of something, you have loads of something. You can say simply loads. You can say boatloads. He's got to have boatloads of money. A boatload, or truckloads, or a pant load. It's a funny, stupid one we use. Or a bad word, load. Okay, I'll let your imagination work for you there. But we actually have lots of variations of loads to talk about a lot of something. Nader, when we visited my grandfather, he was surrounded by piles of something and old newspapers. Would be nice if it was piles of money. Yeah. Piles of crap. Yeah. Possibly. Piles of books is probably the most logical answer here. Something physical. All right. We use piles to talk about physical things. Well, I'm not going to say somebody has piles of strength. That abstract, strength, strong. That sounds weird. So physical things. Yeah. Okay. Again, we talked about this earlier, how piles sort of infers that it's disorganized, which is quite obvious from this sentence. Heaps. Yeah, you can have heaps of something. Heaps of something. Wow, that's a good one, Nader. Heaps of something can, because a heap of something is a pile of something, it can be used sort of synonymous with piles. It can also be used synonymous with loads. He has heaps of money, for example. Interesting one. It sort of crosses the bridge between these last two. Okay. I'm going to go back to David. Are you there? David, come in, David. My goodness. He's not there. Oksana, how about number 3? Back to you.
Okay, there must have been thousands of people at the demonstration against nuclear. Yes? People.
Nuclear weapons. Yep, people.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, people, when we want to count them in crowds of people or groups of people, okay, let me outline this for you. We often use numbers as adjectives, as quantifiers. Okay, let's see here. If there's, okay, what if there's, Oksana, what am I going to say? What am I going to say if there's 8 people?
8 people?
Yeah.
I think maybe better group of people.
I think you're right. That's what I would use. Exactly. There's a group of people. Now, how about if there's, let's say, 38 people?
Yes, it's okay. 38 people.
Well, no, I can use a specific number, but if I'm not sure how many people, approximately 38 people, let's say, okay?
Crowd of people.
Okay, I could say there's a crowd of people, or I could say there are dozens of people, multiples of 12, all right? 12 times 3 is 36. Roughly speaking, you could say dozens of people, right? If we never say tens, for example. There are tens of people. We just never ever say that. We say dozens of people, and then possibly there's 242 people. There are hundreds of people. That's it. You got it. Same thing. Thousands of people, or there are tens of thousands of people in the streets. Not 10,000s of people, but tens of thousands of people, or hundreds of thousands of people. Okay, so it's a little bit of a strange construction when you're talking about counting people up. Okay. Okay, Nader asks if we can say persons. In certain circumstances, okay, the crime was committed by person or persons unknown. We're speaking in general, and it's usually quite extremely formal, but definitely never not normal in normal conversation. Pretty much specific circumstances. I lost. No, Abimelech, you're here. Okay, Abimelech, your turn.
I'm going to tell you again to lock the back door. I must have told you hundreds of times.
Yeah. All right. Probably all of us here have heard our mothers say, "I've told you 1,000,000 times not to do that."
Yes.
You'll put your eye out. Abimelech, put that down. I've told you 1,000,000 times you're going to put your eye out. Yeah.
Yes, easy one.
Yeah. All right. Hundreds of times, thousands of times, millions of times. Yeah. And used in exactly this way. I've told you 100 times. Okay. This is very common in English. Okay. Igor. Let's look at number 5 here.
It'll take you a couple of days to read through the contract. It's a mess of, and we can't afford to get anything wrong. It's a mess of, I don't know, details.
Yeah, it's a massive detail, or details. That's a tricky one, actually. Do you say detail or details? It's a mass of detail. Actually, either one could be right, because detail is tricky. There's too much detail. Okay, uncountable. There were 3 details we needed to look at. Detail is one of those tricky words that sometimes it's countable and sometimes it's uncountable. Okay, a mass. Okay, that's a lot of something. A huge amount of something is a mass.
Can you say it has tons of details?
Sure you can. Tons. Okay, there's another one that's not in our list, or that we're not looking at, but yeah, tons of is used in a very general way. He has tons of money. I have a ton of time next month. I have a ton of work to do. It's very common. Okay,
I have all the time in the world.
Yeah, all right, that's another idiomatic expression to talk about a lot of time, a lot of something. Okay. All right, Diego, try number 6 here.
Okay. After I put an ad there in the paper trying to sell my car, I have dozens of calls in the first couple of days.
Okay, could be dozens of calls. Could be, yep, very good. Dozens of replies, whatever. We kind of talked about this already. We commonly use dozens of something to count. Again, we never use tens, which might seem more logical since we do count by tens, but we never do that. We always use dozens.
Maybe you can say, I have a lot of calls.
Sure you can, absolutely. Yeah, that's very true. You certainly could. Okay, let's look at this fun little exercise. How do we package things? What do we call these containers? What kind of container do you use for these different objects? Ken, I'm going to start with you. Number 1. Ken, are you there?
Yes, sorry, I forgot to unmute.
All right.
toothpaste or tooth
Ooh.
or what?
Or
or
what? What is
what?
something else you have a tube of? That's a hard one.
Tap?
What?
Tap. Pocket.
Oh, packet. No, 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 no. What is something? The idea here is a tube is the container of toothpaste, or you have a tube of toothpaste, or a tube of what?
As a word, not in the
Yes.
list. Okay.
Not in the list. Yeah, you have to get
Tube
a
of
little.
tube of toothpaste or honey.
Honey?
Yeah, some honey is in the tube.
It
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
Japan is crazy. Really?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. You
Yes.
need to send me one. Okay. A tube of toothpaste, or how about this? A tube of lipstick?
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Maybe. A tube, that's hard. A tube of paint,
Lipstick
possibly.
is like a stick. Is it a tube?
Well, it comes in a tube, right?
Okay.
I've heard it before, a tube of lipstick.
Okay.
I don't know. Ask Oksana. Oksana, can you say a tube of lipstick? I don't know. You don't know. Okay, a tube of astronaut food. Very good, Igor. Very creative. Definitely. Everything they eat is in a tube. Okay. A tube of squeezy cheese. Okay, that kind of processed cheese that you just squeeze out like toothpaste. Eee. Tube of pasta. I don't know that. That seems a little strange. Nader, a what of jam? A jar of jam, absolutely. And what else is something that comes in a jar? Jar of honey. Yes, take that. Take that, Ken. A jar of honey. Yes, I have honey in a jar in my house. A jar of flowers. That's strange. That sounds like potpourri. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, many foods that we buy on a weekly basis comes in jars. A jar of pickles. What do I have in my refrigerator? I have a jar of hot peppers, a jar of olives. I have a jar of kimchi. I have a jar of salsa in my refrigerator right now. Just to show you what my eating habits are. Salsa, kimchi, pickles. I have strange eating habits. Now you know. Okay, Oksana, I'm going to bring it back to you.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, you get the same one again. Okay.
I also have kimchi in my refrigerator, but I prepare
you do?
myself. Yes, I do.
Really? How did you discover kimchi?
It's not very because too many Korean people live in Kazakhstan.
Do they? Oh,
Yes.
well, I
And
have
we
no.
have
Interesting.
many foods from Korean.
No joke. Wow, that's fascinating. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, that's very interesting. And here too, in the Philippines, lots of Koreans around. So, lots of Korean restaurants and stores and such. Okay. Anyway, Oksana, number 3.
Okay, a slice of bread or slice of cheese and
Sure.
slice of hamon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Slice of ham. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You said ham, right? You didn't say a slice of human. That would be very wrong. Okay. A slice of human. Ah! Abimelech, number 4. Ooh.
A packet of ice cream.
Packet of ice cream. Well, I don't think so. A packet is generally like you go to McDonald's and they give you the little things with ketchup in it. All right?
Yeah.
That's a packet of ketchup. So putting ice cream in those tiny little things. Can I have extra packets of ice cream, please? That sounds a little weird. Probably not.
Um,
Probably not. Ice cream comes in a bigger package.
can?
Can of ice cream. I don't. Can is made of metal.
Sorry.
I don't usually get my ice cream in a can. Probably the answer here is a tub. This is usually a plastic container with a lid that peels off and can be closed on again. Okay, probably a tub of ice cream. All right. Although I'll tell you, in the United States, they also sell ice cream in a cardboard box as well. So a box is possible in some places. I know they sell it in a box. Here, where I live now, you can only find it in a tub, which is usually a plastic container. What else? Abimelech, do you know anything else that comes in a plastic container or a tub?
A tub of ice cream or flowers, maybe?
Yeah, I don't. I have never seen that. Yeah, butter or margarine, sure. Cream cheese. Cream cheese comes in a tub. Sour cream might come in a tub. Lots of dairy products, actually, when I think about it. Mostly dairy products. Okay. Sure. Of course, a tub can also be a place where you take a bath, a big container for water. Get in the tub and take a bath. So it can be a large container as well for bathing. Or for food, it's usually a small plastic container. Okay. Of course, as Nader noted, of course we can have a cup of ice cream as possible, or an ice cream cone, obviously. Okay, Igor, how about number 5?
A bottle of wine, or a bottle of whatever you put it in.
Yeah, a bottle of whatever, any liquid, really. Okay. I like a tub of wine, or or perhaps here's a big container, which of course you would never buy food in, but another container word, a vat of wine. That's the giant container that they use in the winery. Huge container.
I would like a tube of wine for sneaky purposes.
A tube of wine. that would be interesting.
For sneaky purposes.
Sorry.
Sure.
What about
Yes.
wine? The box
Oh
of
yeah.
wine?
Okay.
Australian wine in box.
You're absolutely right. I almost forgot about that. They never used to do this, but nowadays they will package usually a larger quantity of wine in a box. Absolutely correct. With a little spigot or spout so you can pour out the wine. That's true. We do have boxes of wine. Used to be box wine was very disgusting. You could only use it for cooking. You wouldn't actually use it for drinking. But I guess more and more upscale wines are coming packaged this way. So, yep, you're totally correct. Okay, I can't wait to see a box of beer. That's going to be about a box of beer. Beer, by the way.
Say a six-pack of beer.
A 6-pack of beer means 6 bottles or 6 cans. In America, that's how it's sold. It's sold by the 6-pack.
Six-pack, isn't it?
That's right. Or in America, if you're having a party, you buy a keg, which is a big metal barrel, pressurized, and you tap the keg and you can pour out. I don't know. There's a good amount in there. I don't know exactly. It's some 20 gallons or something. Pretty large amount of beer. Okay. Let's see. Who's next? Igor. Oh, Igor got a bottle. Oh, Nader. Oh, Nader disappeared. Okay. Ken. Oh, no, no. Diego. Your turn, Diego.
Yeah.
Something of chocolates. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Will be a box of chocolates.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
Or
And what else? Do we
a box or anything else.
box of anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Box of cereal.
Cereal,
Sure.
cold meat. I don't know, anything.
Yeah, pretty much
It will be
everything
anything.
comes in a box. Absolutely right. Okay. I'm sorry to say, but it appears that we are out of time, actually, and I have to start another class. So thank you, everyone. I hope you learned a little useful vocabulary about quantifiers, regarding quantifiers. But I gotta go. So thank you very much.
Bye.
See you guys again
Okay.
real soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye
Okay.
for now.
You?